Hello everyone, how are you today? Today we'll talk about the present simple. So let's look at these sentences. The sun rises from the east. Have you ever seen the sun rises from the west? No, so this is a fact. So we use in fact in the present simple. Number 2, she usually brushes her teeth. Okay? Like she brushes her teeth 6 days a week. So this is a habit. After that, the boy studies English every day, so it's a repeated action. So we use the fact and habit or the repeated action in the present simple. Now, again, let's look at the sentences carefully. The sun rises from the east. So the verb rises, okay, the infinitive form of it is rise. So I added S because the verb ends with E, and before it we have the subject, which is the sun. The sun is singular noun. So I add S if the verb ends with E if we have a singular noun. So again, we add S if the verb ends with E or consonant sound or consonant letter. And before it we have a singular noun. Okay? After that, she usually brushes her teeth. So brushes, we added ES because the infinitive form of it is brush. Here the verb ends with SH. So pay attention to this. If the verb ends with SH, CH, X, O, Z or SS, we add ES. So like washes, catches, fixes, misses, and buzzes. Go becomes goes. So I add ES as you heard. After that, the boy studies English every day. Studies. The infinitive form of it is study. And if we have a verb ends with Y and before it we have a consonant letter, we drop Y and add IES. Okay? But pay attention to this again. If we have a verb ends with Y and before it we have vowel letter, we add only S, like play. Okay? After that we have play. We play football every week. This is without any additions because of what? We knew that we add S, re-S, ri-S, okay, according to the subject. If the subject he or she or it or any singular noun, we add these endings, okay? But if we have we, they or you, we don't add anything or any plural noun, okay? Like the students play football every week or we play football every week. So this is in the statement. How we make it negative? I use a negative, don't or doesn't. Don't with I, we, they, you. I use don't. And doesn't with he or she or it. Okay? Like I speak French. If you want to make it negative, I add don't after the subject. I don't speak French. Okay? He eats sushi. Okay? I add does with he. So he doesn't eat. I use the infinitive again. He doesn't eat sushi. Okay? After that, the question. Question, we have two types of question. Yes or no question and WH question. The first one is I speak French. If you want to make a question, I use do or does again. Okay? So I start with the do or does, then the subject, then the verb in infinitive. Okay? Like, do you speak French? Does she play karate? So this is according to do or does according to the subject. With the WH question, we add when or what or where or anything, okay, before the normal question like, do you go to the gym? I add when. So when do you go to the gym? Does he look like? I use what? What does he look like? Okay, this is the question. So again, according to the question with yes or no question like I don't speak French. Do you speak French? Okay. The answer would be yes, I do, or yes, I speak French. The second one is does she play karate? I say yes, she does, or no, she doesn't, or yes, she plays karate. Okay? Or no, she doesn't play karate. And the WS question, when do you go to the gym? I use time. He asking about the time. When? So I go to the gym at 9 o'clock p.m. So now let's go to the practice. The practice part is here. Okay. So this is the US show. So the first question is, he likes watching TV. He asks me to use does. So it would be what? A question. Very good. So how I make a question? I start with does. So yes, he likes watching TV. He asks me to use does. So it is yes or no question. So how you make a question? As we said, we use does. Okay? Does what? The subject. Does he? Very good. Does he likes or like? Like. We use in the question with the infinitive form. So does he like? And complete the sentence like, does he like watching TV? And question mark. Number 2. The question is, I woke up at 7 o'clock every morning. When? So I ask with when. So this is the WS question. So how I use it? I start with when. Then I have I woke up. So I becomes you. I use I or you. Do or does? Do. So when do you woke up? I woke up every morning. This is the question. So it's wake up. It's infinitive. So and also I didn't add the time because I am asking about it. When do you wake up? Every morning. Number 3, we have dinner with. The next one is, we have dinner with each other every Friday. So he asks me to use usually. So I use usually or always or often and these keywords before the main verb. We have dinner. So with the main verb have. So it becomes we usually have dinner with each other every Friday. So we usually have dinner with each other every Friday. After that we have no. May doesn't like ice cream. So he asks me to use does. And before we have no at the beginning of the sentence. So it is a question. Very good. So how I make a question with does? So we start with do or does. So may is singular. So we use does. Does. Then the subject may like ice cream, not likes because it's an infinitive. Number 5. I go to the club every day. So we ask me to use don't. It's negative. Good. So how you make it negative? I start with the subject. I go to the club every day. We use don't to make it negative. After what? The subject. I don't go to the club every day. That's how I make it negative. Number 6. He likes the green tea. We use we. So how do we make it? We like or likes? We like good because we is plural. We like the green tea. That's it. Number 7. Dalia wash her hair every day. So correct it. Dalia wash. Dalia is Dalia singular or plural? It's singular. So we add, and the verb ends with sh. So it should be her like. Dalia. Dalia what? Wash? No, washes. So I'll add es because it ends with sh. So washes her hair every day. That's the sentence. Number 9. The museum closes at 7 in the evening. So I use ask. So I'll ask a question. So the museum closes at 7 in the evening. So he asks me to ask a question, and there is an underline after the under the word 7. So he wants to ask about the time. I use how I ask about the time. I ask with when. Very good. So when, when what? When we have the museum. Them is singular. So we use do, does. We use does. When does the museum close? Not closes, because we use close in the verb in the infinitive. Okay. So when does the museum close in the evening? So the question would be, when does the museum close in the evening? Okay. Number 10. She studies science at university. He asked me to do negative. So she, I start with the sentence like it. So I make a negative with do and doesn't. So in that case we'll use does. Very good, because it's singular. So she doesn't study. So we use it in infinitive. Science at university. So again we use don't or doesn't to make negative. Okay. Number 11. In the morning, Betty her sister to school. So he asked me to choose. Betty, it's a name. Okay. Takes her sister to the school. So it should be takes. Very good, because Betty is a singular noun. After that, John and Mary has a cup of tea in the morning. So correct it. Joe and Mary, they are two or one? They are two, so they are plural. So they take have or has. It should be have. Very good. So Mary and John have a cup of tea in the morning. Then the second question. Correct the mistakes in the following sentences. Ali don't play tennis anymore. He says he's too old. So Ali don't play tennis. Is that correct? Of course not. So Ali is a singular. So Ali becomes Ali doesn't. Very good. So Ali doesn't play tennis anymore. So this is the correct form that it should be. Number 2. I doesn't eat meat. Are there any vegetarian restaurants near here? So I doesn't eat meat. Is that correct? No. So when I make negative, I use doesn't or don't according to the subject. So I takes what? Don't. Very good. So it should be number 3. Do Ali live with his parents? Is that correct? No, because does Ali, not do Ali. Number 4. My brother lives 500 miles away. So we doesn't see each other very often. So where is the verb? So we doesn't see each other. Is that correct? No, it should be we don't. Number 5. I'm sure my new boss don't like me. My new boss don't like me. So boss is one. So it should be doesn't. So very good. My new boss doesn't like me. Number 6. I doesn't think you should buy those shoes. They're too expensive. Where is the correct? Where is the mistake? So I doesn't think. No, I don't think. Let's go to the last question, which is choose the correct answer. So I choose between do or does, and this would be according to the subject. Very good. So the first one is a question, because we have a question mark at the end. So you live in a house or flat? Do or does? Do. Very good. Do you live in a house or flat? I live in a flat in London near my college. Then he asked another question. Live alone? Do you live alone or does? It would be do. Very good. Do you live alone? No, I don't. I share the flat with my brother. So this is a conversation and we complete the sentences with do or does according to the conversation. Then he asked another question. He go to the same college as you? So, does he go? He answered, no. He is a bit older than me. He's got a job. He has got a job. Then he asked the question, you work at the weekend? So it should be do or does. So it should be do. Do you work at the weekend? He answered, yes, I work in the cafe on Saturday and Sunday mornings. He asked another question. You have a girlfriend at the moment? It should be do. He answered, I do. Her name's Adele. So we knew that when we had a do or does a question with do or does, the question should be yes I do, no I don't, so I do. Her name's Adele. He asked another question. She comes from London. It should be do or does. Does, very good. So does she come from London? He said no. She comes from Scotland, but she came here to study. The last one should be, okay, put the words and expressions in the correct order to make questions. So, we'll make questions. Live, you, do, where. So, I start with the WH question, which is where. Then we have verb, do or does, then the subject, then the verb. So, do, where do you live, where do you live? This is that question. So, do what you do, so what do you do? Do, what time start you? It should be, what time do you start work? Do you start work? Then question mark. Number 4. Where from come you do. So I start with where. Where, then do. Where do you come from? So I give you a hint. The word that has question mark at the end, it should be the last one, the last word in the sentence, okay? Number 5. You do hometown visit you how often? So I start with how often. This is the question, that is the question that I start with. How often do you visit your hometown? How many you brothers have? Do and sisters. So I start with how many. How many brothers and sisters do you have? How many brothers and sisters do you have? So that was the present simple. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.